You're watching ABC10 Plus This Week.
Hello, I'm Laura Painter. You're watching ABC10 This Week. A former DA says the Stockton shooting shows signs of possible gang retaliation. What we know so far about the investigation. Then, in dollars and cents, could a 50-year mortgage help first-time homebuyers or hurt them? Then we hit the back roads. Did you know California Central Valley is the largest producer in the country of the colorful, festive poinsettia? John Bartel takes us to the back roads of Stanislaus County to see how they're grown. ABC 10 This Week starts right now. We start tonight with our continuing coverage of the mass shooting in Stockton.
It has now been 12 days since 4 people were shot and killed and 13 hurt. Investigators say at least 5 suspects opened fire at a child's birthday party. It happened inside a banquet hall on Lucille Avenue. ABC
10's Gabriel Porras is live there now with the latest. Gabriel, you've been on this story since day one. What are you learning tonight?
Yeah, Chris and Laura, we're learning that for now there will be no more names added to this memorial here at the scene of this awful tragedy. The sheriff's office told me today that there are no more victims in any of the hospitals any longer. None of the shooters is in custody either, but 2 people who attended the party are, and just this morning, one of them was in court. The bullets began flying right as they were about to cut the cake, witnesses say. Nearly 50 shell casings from 5 shooters, according to investigators. In the end, 4 lives taken and 13 hurt during an event meant to celebrate a 2-year-old. In nearly a dozen days, investigators haven't determined a motive, but new court records shine a light on the investigation, saying, quote, several gang members associated with multiple gang sets within the Stockton area were present at the time of the shooting. Prosecutors say that includes a 2-year-old's own father, Luciano Guerrero.
He's only here today because he threw a birthday party for a child that he loved. And somebody else decided to interrupt it in perhaps the most inhumane, hostile way.
Guerrero and attendee Billy Williams arrested just days after the shooting on parole violations. Both, prosecutors say, are gang members. The sheriff's office says neither are suspects in the shooting and hasn't confirmed that the shooting was gang-related. But the county's former top prosecutor says
it sure has all the indication that this was a gang-related shooting in retaliation for something.
Former DA Tori Verber Salazar says if it was gang-related, there are reasons the sheriff's office might not say so.
If you come out and say it is a gang-related hit, people are going to be even less cooperative, and they're going to be more reluctant because of fear.
This case also has one key difference.
A lot of the hierarchy in these gangs are incarcerated and unable to physically protect their families. And so the rule has always been women and children were off limits. When I think about the individuals that committed these crimes, I don't know if it was an authorized retaliation or was it an unauthorized, and they went rogue and thought they'd make a name for themselves and do something quite hideous.
All ideas that investigators say they're looking into as the grief continues.
We need to go back and retrack our steps and say, okay, how can we do more? What can we do? How can we make sure this never happens again?
And seeing this memorial, that is what so many are wondering as well. Back in court earlier today, Guerrero was denied bail. He does have 2 cases pending unrelated to the mass shooting, as again, the search for the people or persons who did this continues. Live in Stockton, Gabriel Porras, ABC 10.
Good to know, Gabriel. We do want to point out Guerrero's attorney declined to speak with us today. Both Williams and Guerrero also declined interviews at the San Joaquin County Jail. Gabriel, keep us posted as you learn more. Thank you.
A lot to cover tonight. We do thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Thomas.
I'm Laura Painter. New details tonight on the deadly mass shooting in Stockton that left 4 people dead, including 3 children, and 13 people hurt.
Well, now San Joaquin County deputies confirm they're searching for multiple suspects.
ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen is live in Stockton tonight, where the shooting happened, with the latest details and how the community has been responding. Jeannie, what are you learning?
Laura and Chris, the memorial here in Stockton, here at the scene, continues to grow over the past week, with people stopping by all afternoon to pay their respects. Here behind me, you can see that memorial there. The people I spoke with today say while Stockton is no stranger to crime, it doesn't change the fact that a tragedy like this hurts everybody.
It was such a big story, a sad story. It's not all the time that you hear about kids getting murdered at a birthday party. I mean, you hear things.
Michelle Gomez has lived in Stockton for 10 years, and she's heard her fair share of violent crimes in her city. But this,
Sadness, I mean, you can't help but kind of get chills being in a spot where something like that happened and just seeing the outpouring from the community of how it affects everybody. I mean, it's sad.
4 people, 3 of them children, were killed at a child's birthday party on November 29th. There are currently no suspects, but on Tuesday, San Joaquin County Sheriff Patrick Withrow gave more details on what happened that night.
Over 50 shell casings at the scene of this birthday party. So far, we've been able to determine that there were at least 5 different firearms that were fired.
Sheriff Withrow confirmed there were known gang members at the party, but could not say if this was a gang-related shooting. But he was able to give more of a physical description on the shooters.
The people involved in this were dressed all in black and had face coverings. So all you could see was this.
Stockton Vice Mayor Jason Lee stood with victims' families on Tuesday asking his community to come forward with any details.
Everybody knows everybody and everybody is talking. I encourage you to come forward and to share that information with the proper authorities.
14-year-old Amari Peterson lost his life that night, and his father, Patrick, expressed through tears how difficult life has been without his son.
Looking in his room, I'm looking around the corner, I'm hearing him. Am I tripping or is he there? Because people keep telling me he's there with me, he's in my heart and all that, but I don't see him, I don't feel him.
And the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office says they're going to take time with this investigation because there are a lot of leads to comb through. Multiple law enforcement agencies are also offering a reward of about $130,000 for any information that leads to an arrest in this case. Live in Stockton, Jeannie Nguyen, ABC 10.
Yeah, so true, Jeannie. We know the families are desperate for answers right now, so any information can really help police. Jeannie Nguyen, thank you.
And take a look. If you have any information that might help with the investigation, please call that number right there on your screen. And remember, you can remain anonymous.
We start tonight with new penalties in the deadly Esparto explosion. The deadly fireworks factory blast happened this summer just before the July 4th holiday. 7 people were killed and 2 others were hurt.
Tonight, we're hearing from families of the victims after Cal OSHA announced more than $200,000 in penalties for the company involved.
ABC 10's Roxanne Elias shares why some say what's happened isn't enough.
Chris and Laura, I spoke to the mother of Junior Melendez, who says this doesn't make a difference to her because it doesn't bring her son back. She says her entire life has been completely ruined, along with all the other families that had victims killed in this explosion.
It stops me in my tracks when I hear anything about Esparto.
For 5 agonizing months, Lupe Melendez Mendoza, the mother of Joel Jr. Melendez, has lived in grief after her 28-year-old son was killed in the Esparto explosion. He left behind 2 sons, a wife, and a family.
Thanksgiving just went by, and me and my sister, we were just saying we're looking at the door waiting for him to come in and start the party, and he didn't come.
On Tuesday, Cal OSHA announced it issued 15 citations against San Francisco-based Devastating Pyrotechnics last week. Documents show the citations totaling $221,000 in proposed penalties. Cal OSHA says 3 of the citations are classified as accident-related, including the employer's failure to establish, implement, and maintain an injury prevention program. They also cite a failure to train employees for an emergency situation and failure to train employees on the fire hazards associated with the materials they were handling. Julie Heckman, the executive director at American Pyrotechnics Association, says this serves as a wake-up call to all the regulators who have their fingers on the fireworks industry.
We hate to say this, but in our industry, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Something along the lines will always occur, and you have to be trained and prepared to handle it immediately and responsibly.
ABC 10 was actually the first to notify Lupe of the new citations. She says the price tag is a joke.
$221,000? What is that in California? What is that in Yolo County? What is that? That's nothing. But you know what? Like I said, I don't care about the dollars and all that stuff, but I do appreciate that OSHA has come up with these, findings.
Lupe says there is no healing or justice for her and Junior's family until someone is arrested and they serve time. Her words for those responsible:
How do you every night go to bed and you've talked to my son. My son, I know that he had made you laugh at one point. You know what I mean? And now you're just like, I hope you have nightmares. I hope you have nightmares.
In Esparto, Roxana Elias, ABC 10.
In tonight's Dollars and Cents, you've probably heard of a 30-year mortgage, but what about a 50-year mortgage? The concept sparked national discussion when President Trump posted online about it last month. The goal is to help make housing more affordable. While there are some benefits, you also need to know the drawbacks.
You're going to be paying a heck of a lot more interest on a 50-year mortgage than you are in a more traditional product like a 15 or a 30-year.
A 50-year mortgage basically extends the overall length or term of a mortgage from 30 years all the way to 50. On the one hand, Joseph Eshelman, the president and founder of Tower Point Wealth, says it does afford a borrower the opportunity to lower their monthly payment because the mortgage is longer.
From the standpoint of a first-time home buyer, having an opportunity to gain entry to purchase a home could be viewed as a good deal.
On the other hand, with a 50-year mortgage, you could end up paying more on interest. Considering the current state of the economy and the fact that the new national median age for first-time home buyers has gone up to a record high of 40 years old, which just 4 years ago was 33 years old, this according to the National Association of Realtors, what advice do you have for first-time home buyers?
Don't get caught up with this shiny object syndrome, so to speak. The difficulty becomes how long are you going to have this mortgage as part of your overall financial situation?
Eshelman says saving enough money for a down payment on a home likely involves trade-offs in your spending habits and financial discipline, which can be hard when people are already struggling to pay bills. We know part of the American dream is that generational wealth, right? Talk to me about the impact a 50-year mortgage could have on folks' ability to pass on that American dream, that generational wealth.
I think that the dream is still alive, perhaps a bit harder to reach today. People are, tending to have to stretch more and consider more innovative products like, 50-year mortgage. Having the ability to ease or to have a lower monthly payment does afford people the ability to hopefully build some equity in their home, albeit at a longer period of time.
Eshelman also says a 50-year mortgage doesn't necessarily fix affordability. It could make the housing market a little more fragile in the future. The conversation doesn't end here. You can stream all of our Dollars and Cents coverage on the free ABC10 Plus TV streaming app. Remember, your money questions have answers. Email me at lpainter@abc10.com.
In 10 on your side, we're getting results for viewer Elaine, who says she was having difficulty having AT&T hook up her landline. We got the problem resolved.
Well, Chris, it's a good thing that Elaine has you on her side, because otherwise she would still be on the phone with AT&T.
Loretta Lynch, former president of the California Public Utilities Commission, reacting to this message sent to 10 on your side. Elaine says, I have a problem with AT&T hooking up my landline. It was promised to me since September 23, 2025. I have talked to so many people on the phone. I have spent over 30 hours with representatives trying to clear up the problem. I cannot get them to port my phone. I keep getting transferred to other departments, and when I do, that representative says I need to talk to the previous department. I'm so frustrated. I really need help getting through to someone who can help at AT&T.
AT&T is quietly allowing the system to wither away by making it super difficult for folks like Elaine, your viewer who called in, to get service.
AT&T denies that, telling 10 on your side, we are not ending landline service in California, and none of our California customers will lose access to voice or 911 service. We're working with policymakers in the state to modernize California's communications infrastructure.
For safety, for reliability, to protect all sorts of vulnerable Californians who can't use cell phones or don't know how. Older people, folks with less income, disabled people, and folks who live in the rural areas where cell service just is not reliably available. We need to keep the system that works.
AT&T responded to my request for answers within minutes. We had multiple conversations, and in a matter of days, they sent me this statement in regards to Elaine's service, declaring, "We strive to provide our customers with the solutions that best suit their needs. We have resolved this customer's concerns, and their service is back to normal." And ABC10 is here to help. Do you have a problem and don't know where else to turn? Email me at onyourside@abc10.com.
New tonight, Anheuser-Busch is closing its Fairfield facility early next year, impacting hundreds of jobs.
Yeah, the mayor tells ABC10 the city had no advance notice and they only learned about the shutdown today. ABC10's Nazi Javid has more.
The call came in early this morning, and city leaders say the Fairfield facility behind me is one of the closures announced by Anheuser-Busch. They say the news is devastating for those workers and the community.
This is a massive layoff, so we're shocked, and I'm upset.
Fairfield's mayor says the announcement came without warning.
We did not know a month ago, 3 months ago, nothing until this morning.
Anheuser-Busch confirms the Fairfield and Merrimack, New Hampshire locations will close, and its Newark, New Jersey facility will be sold. The company says about 475 employees across those 3 sites will be offered jobs at other locations with relocation support or severance if they don't transfer.
It is the worst kind of Grinchmas that you could come up with. How they would do this before Christmas and Hanukkah is disgusting.
Community members are also reacting to the impact of losing jobs during the holidays.
I do feel for the people who are losing their jobs. It's difficult enough to decide it's time to move, and it's even more difficult to move from a state like California.
Budweiser has just always been there. Solano County has a lot of family, community, tons of kids, there's tons of schools. And it's what are these families going to do?
And the impact goes beyond job loss. As Fairfield's largest water user, the city of Fairfield tells ABC10, quote, "The impacts for us will be loss of local employment and to our water utility operations and revenue. We are currently working to define the exact amounts."
With Anheuser-Busch gone, we're probably going to have to raise rates.
The mayor says the city's now looking for a new use for the site and working to support impacted workers.
They can call me if they need food, if there's housing issues, whatever it is, our whole community is going to hold them up.
And city leaders say they expect to have more information in the coming weeks on what that impact to revenue will look like as they work to find a new future for this facility. In Fairfield, Nazi Javid, ABC10.
Nazi, thank you. The mayor says about 200 employees in Fairfield are impacted. Anheuser-Busch declined an on-camera interview with ABC10. In a statement, the company says the decision followed years of modernizing its U.S. operations and investing nearly $2 billion across its 100 facilities.
Well, let's turn now to the holiday travel season and what to expect at the gas pump.
Some California lawmakers are warning prices could rise if California continues to rely on foreign oil imports.
ABC10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh has a closer look at the key points.
These lawmakers say the lack of in-state oil production is not only a threat to our wallets, but also overall national security. State and federal leaders are sounding the alarm bells on what they call California's dwindling supply of oil produced in-state.
We have an energy crisis in our state, and it looks like it is only going to intensify.
Republican lawmakers, including Congressman Vince Fong and State Assembly member Stan Ellis, both of Bakersfield, say the imminent closure of 2 major California refineries, Valero in the Bay Area city of Benicia and Phillips 66 in Los Angeles, is concerning, with reports showing that could reduce the state's refining capacity by nearly 20%.
Wait a minute. If refineries keep shutting down, what does that do to all of the bases?
These refineries make jet fuel and diesel and gasoline for our military.
From Air Force to Army bases, California houses more than 30 military bases. Many of them, as well as bases in Nevada and Arizona, are reliant on oil from these refineries.
We're importing 20% of our product now from India. When Valero shuts down, we're going to be getting 40% of our jet fuel, diesel, and gas from India. If China or Russia or someone decides to pull the plug on India getting crude for us, guess what? It's catastrophic.
Experts like petroleum professional Mike Ariza, who co-authored a recent report on California's energy independence with Ellis, say the state appears to have no plan B.
Their backup plan is to continue to source it from places like India. India buys their crude oil from Russia, so effectively gasoline and jet fuel in that we could be producing here.
That's the national security threat, they say. There's also affordability. A report by the California Center for Jobs and the Economy states Californians paid the most in the nation for gas in November, over $2 more than did those in Oklahoma, which had the lowest price. But higher prices could be on the horizon as the refineries close and a key pipeline, which transports oil drilled in Southern California to Northern California, could shut down too.
They're anticipating our prices being higher than Southern California, and these prices are going to be anywhere from $8, I'm thinking as high as $10 or $12 a gallon.
Now, Governor Newsom's office did not respond to requests for comment on this topic, but at the end of this past legislative session, he and fellow Democrats passed a package of bipartisan energy bills acknowledging the need to lower gas prices. Most notably, he approved new oil drilling permits in Kern County. Chris, Laura.
Okay, Jenny, thank you.
A major upset is coming for many high school athletes in one local school district. The state has ordered the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District to switch their athletic program to the CIF. That's the California Interscholastic Federation, which governs high school sports in the state. Those schools currently compete in Nevada. ABC10's Becca Hotbecker joins us live in studio to break down the details.
Yeah, Alex, the Tahoe Truckee Unified School District is currently part of the Nevada Interscholastic Activities Association because of its proximity to the neighboring state. But now the district's two regular high schools athletic programs face what the district calls, quote, significant logistical challenges in a new mandated switch to playing here in California.
Earlier this year, President Trump issued an executive order requiring all student athletes to play on sports teams that correspond with their sex assigned at birth. But California law requires schools to allow student athletes to play on the team consistent with their gender identity. Tahoe Truckee USD's two regular high schools are part of the Nevada Interscholastic Activities Association. Back in April, the NIAA revised their student eligibility to only consider a student's sex assigned at birth, putting those two California high schools out of compliance with California law.
Nobody in this community agrees with this decision. I support your position.
In a heated school board meeting back in May, community members voiced their opinion on the notion that Tahoe Truckee's two high schools would have to switch to the CIF as a result.
The district is making the right decision.
Now, the district has no decision. Last week, the California Department of Education announced it is ordering Tahoe Truckee to join CIF's San Joaquin section starting next school year. In the wake of a formal complaint filed against the district alerted parents this week. Critics, including Congressman Kevin Kiley, say this will have a major impact on student athletes. Chief among concerns, soccer and boys tennis. In the NIAA, those seasons run late summer through the fall. In CIF,
these are winter sports in California, but they're quite hard to play in the winter in this part of the state because there's a lot of snow.
ABC10 reached out to the California Department of Education, which affirmed state law. ABC10 also reached out to Tahoe Truckee trustees, who said in a joint statement they appealed the state's order and requested an extension of the timeline. The Department of Education denied both requests. The district is now legally required to follow this order. We know this is not just a scheduling change, it's a huge shift that affects our traditions and our kids' experience. We know the move raises complicated questions about winter travel over Donner Summit and sports like soccer and boys tennis moving seasons. The board and the district are committed to transparency and will continue collaborating with CIF San Joaquin section leadership, who are supportive partners to find the best possible pathway.
The district superintendent will provide an informational overview of the situation at the upcoming board meeting that's next Wednesday.
California is the top producer of the poinsettia. The red leafy plant is a popular decoration during the holiday season, and one of the largest family-run producers of the poinsettia grows their plants just outside of Modesto. Starting in mid-November, a shopping frenzy for poinsettias begins at Duarte Nursery in Houston.
Honestly, it's the main way we connect with the community. As a commercial crops nursery,
We don't see the people of Houston and Ceres and Modesto that often unless they're growing almond or pistachio trees.
Within their massive greenhouse complex, the Duarte family grows more than 40,000 poinsettias a year, one of the largest growers in the nation.
It's literally a sea of flowers, and people's jaws always drop when they walk in the door.
Cassandra Duarte is a third-generation nursery operator and poinsettia grower.
My grandparents started Duarte Nursery back in 1989. Duarte Poinsettias started in 1993 as a way to keep our seasonal employees here year-round.
Around here, Cassandra's grandmother, Anita Duarte, is known as the Poinsettia Lady.
How does one get that title?
Being out here for 30 years, maybe, selling poinsettias.
Growing poinsettias has been a long-standing tradition for the Duarte family, but the plant itself originates from southern Mexico. For centuries, its vibrant leaves have been used in religious ceremonies. In 1828, U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, Dr. Joel Poinsett, brought a clipping back to his plantation in South Carolina. From there, he shared the plant with others, and people were instantly drawn to its bright red leaves.
Actually, the poinsettia leaf is what turns color. This little pod in the middle is the blossom.
It's not much of a flower, is it?
Not much of a flower. These are just leaves.
Today, there's over 100 varieties of poinsettias available in a range of colors. The vibrant hues only appear in winter, when the days are short and the nights are long.
Every year, poinsettias start off as green, just the green of these leaves, and then they turn color with darkness. So you want to do 14 hours of darkness every 24-hour cycle.
Though beautiful, poinsettias have gotten a bad rap recently. Cassandra says there's a common misperception that the plants are toxic to pets and children.
That's not true. What happens is a lot of the time, different retailers will put dyes or sparkles or artificial inputs into their poinsettias, and that's what makes them toxic. Our poinsettias don't have any dyes. The coloring is all natural.
One other misconception the Duartes like to point out is the pronunciation of the plant. Poinsettia or poinsettia?
Either way.
Either way.
Either
Poinsettia,
way. Yes.
poinsettia.
Yeah, either way.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. And
Whatever.
That's coming from the poinsettia lady.
Yeah, right.
All right. So,
California's Central Valley is the nation's top producer of poinsettias. So many are produced here that December 12th has been dedicated as National Poinsettia Day. So no matter what color you choose or how you pronounce it, there's plenty of these holiday flowers to go around. From Duarte Poinsettias, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Thanks so much for watching ABC 10 This Week. We're here 24/7 on the ABC 10 app. You can get your local news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Laura Painter. Take care. I'll see you next time.